step in. Crane, if you can get your butt up. All right, so we learned to modify. Here I'm going to unzip Crane's jacket just enough to show you inside here. This is muslin. I don't know if you know anything about muslin. Anybody ever seen muslin before?
I went to fashion school before.
It's thinner than this nice man's shirt. It is a thin, insubstantial fabric. But muslin, since it's often used by fashion designers for doing mock-ups of dresses and cheap copies of dresses, you can usually get for $1 a yard. So at $1 a yard, if you need to make a thicker garment or a garment with more body, you put 2 layers of muslin together instead of a single layer of a more expensive fabric. You get the same look, and you don't break your bank. Also, poplin is your friend. It's going to have a big sign on it that says, Poplin, great for tablecloths.
Poplin, poplin, poplin.
Poplin, great for cartoon characters. It has enough weight that it gives some body. It's light enough that you can breathe at cons. That makes a lot of difference. It's nothing worse than a heavy costume.
And it's sturdy enough where if you're wearing a Victorian evening gown and ice skating, you're not actually going to break any of the fabric, tear any of the fabric.
Unless you're me. Poplin also is very easy to wash, which
I wear, a lot of my characters also wear white things.
Which
I'm
is
the
bad.
clumsiest person on earth.
And she's Bessie.
And yet, the poplin is what keeps me my cosplay moving. I mean, I do still love about the Vampire Slayer, white dress, white stockings.
I haven't stained it. It's incredible. That's also the other trick, upholstery fabric. Oh, if you're doing anything medieval, anything like medievally or fantasy based, upholstery fabric. It gives you that weight, that sumptuous look. And it's cheap. It's very cheap. A lot of times it is going to be warmer. You have to be cautious of that. So you incorporate a slat at the wrist. You incorporate a little part at the back that laces up. That gives you just a little breathing room. You put some layers in your skirt so you can pull one aside if you absolutely need to die. Upholstery fabric is a friend. Poplin is your friend. Cheap fabric stores are your friends. Under no circumstances, unless you are looking for 4mm pink vertical stripes, do you ever go into the fashion district? Ever.
Thingy I disagree with. The fashion district has a lot of little stores, like I call them the Indian-owned stores, because a lot of Indian guys own them. You get really good fabric there, especially like anything Eastern influenced. What you don't want to do, and I think what you mean, is don't go to Mood, because you probably find it, but you're going to be paying $30 and $40 a yard.
You're going to be paying more than it's worth.
One project that I had to do in school, I went to Mood. I had to pay, like $120, and I was like, I could have got this. And then when I got home, I realized I could have just went to Save-A-Thon and got it for like $15.
Yeah. Yeah, we were, the first time we were planning one of her Ramona cosplays, it's this massive yardage of lots and lots
First
and
Ramona,
lots
if anyone knows.
of teeny fine white jersey knit. We went up and looked at it at Mood. It was like a $200 dress. We went, no. We went up to Save-A-Thon fabric. It was a $10 dress.
Yeah, that being said, if you gotta go to Mood, you gotta go to Mood, but I don't think you gotta go to Mood. I think if you check everything else and it's not there, then fine. But I've never even found it that helpful. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that it's just not there.
Because
Online?
Yeah.
You know, we've never used it online.
I had a client once that tried to use online. The thing about online is you have to be very careful about your sources. You have to be very careful about who you're buying from. You have to be very careful about the photographs. And you're never going to get exactly what you want. Buying things online from, say, an Etsy retailer, from a company, never buy from China. Never, ever buy from China.
I tried to do that. There was, on Tumblr, there was something going around about a massive sale that was going on in some online store. The guy was from China.
Is this the wig store?
Yeah. Yeah. It said, it was like $1 a wig. And I was like, okay, I'm going to buy like 20 wigs. And nothing ever showed up. Yeah. On the other hand, this I got from Amazon and had Anne cut it. I mean, and I still didn't quite get the color I wanted.
It's not like you can never get something online. It's just that
if you don't have to, don't do it. Yeah. If you want to get some kunai or something for a Naruto cosplay, just trowel-like knives that are very specific. Or if you need to get a headband.
or if you're getting your wand or something, your house robes.
If it's something very, very specific where you know
your sonic screwdriver.
Where you know that there's an official provider.
Got it.
Like the BBC is selling it, or Warner Bros is selling it, or something, you can get it there. You
But
probably
other
get
than
it
that,
elsewhere too.
Stay away. And never buy fabric online.
Yeah.
Never
Because the
buy
color you
fabric
see
online.
on this, it's not the color you're gonna get. I've experienced this once or twice. Like you'll get a color 2 shades off, and you're just like,
can't work with this.
I made a Nara costume from Firefly. We were looking for a specific medallion fabric. She ordered it. It came. It was the wrong color. It didn't have the same medallions on it that she wanted. It wasn't even a silk. It was a blend of a bunch of other things. It was that came. That did come. Well, it came 3 months later. 3 months after the cosplay was needed.
Also, if you're going to do something like I did with the contact lenses, mine ended up not arriving for a week and a half. I emailed the guys. They were like, "Okay, sorry, we'll send you another set or give you a refund." I wrote another set. Over spring break, just last week, both sets showed up. So I paid for one. I got both. Sometimes the retailers are as reputable as they seem, or more reputable, because these guys didn't actually seem all that reputable.
They were kind of dodgy.
Huh?
They were kind of dodgy.
And yet, here I am. They listened to my complaints, and they were like, "Okay, we understand the problem. We'll give you a replacement." And keep in mind that sometimes you can't get things online, and it will work. I'm very happy with contact lenses.
You can.
It's just that oftentimes you'll end up buying 20 wigs and nothing shows up.
So pretty much it's like taking a chance.
Yeah, it's taking a chance. Something reliable like a sonic screwdriver. If you're gonna get a sonic screwdriver, you know, you get a sonic screwdriver, it's sonic.
Although you might as well just go get it at Forbidden Planet.
Yeah, but if
Well,
you
no,
don't
it's
want
gonna
to
cost more for Planet.
True.
You can
Yeah.
buy it on Amazon.
Yes.
For less.
Sometimes.
Amazon is your friend too.
Okay, so I have a question. Who here can sew on a sewing machine? Okay, good.
I know
Back-
small things.
Who here can hand sew? Okay.
I know small
I can
things.
hack it.
I know small things.
Is there anyone here who can do other things that are relevant? Say you can design something on a computer that can be turned into a badge, like on that.
But the question I'm asking is, I cannot sew a machine, but I can hand sew. So a lot of ways to be able to make a cosplay you didn't think you could make is to modify. So no one's asking you to get a sewing machine. The way she sews is incredibly difficult. She does it by the body. No one's asking you to be that. Yeah, pay her. She does it for you. But a lot of times you see something and you can change it. My first cosplay was Rita Skeeter from Harry Potter. It kind of walked into my life. I was at a thrift shop and I'm just doing around, thinking of Harry Potter characters. I see this green like dress suit, so it has a dress and has a jacket, and I'm like, that's what Rita Skeeter wears. But she has, you know, fur here, the collar is different, the buttons are different. So instead of, you know, trying to get this green shiny fabric and then make the thing or try and commission someone, I could go to the fashion district. Oh, I'm shedding, oh dear. I could go to I went to a trimming store I like, it's pretty cheap, and I got a thing of red fake fur, and I actually glued this one, you know, glued the thingies here, the fur, swap out the buttons. Anyone can sew a button. Swear to God, if I can do it, anyone can do it.
It's simple.
Yeah. In and out, file.
You can also duct tape hems. Fold the hem up, duct tape on the inside.
Yeah, you can, I hot glued my fur. It works. Every now and then Anne looks at me and goes, you know, I can sew it for you, I can sew it for you. But, you know, I've had no trouble. So, know your glues. If you're not gonna hot glue, if you're not gonna sew, hot glue works for a lot of little applique thingies.
And 2-part epoxy. If you get it at hardware stores, it comes in 2 tubes. You squeeze the tubes together. It smells like the raunchy scent of Staten's asshole. It is the nastiest shit in the world, and it will never go on.
Fabric glue also works too. I've used craft glue, I've used fabric glue, I've used Magna-Tack.
Doesn't wash well, but works
Yeah.
well.
Magna-Tack is often for little things. I really don't make much. I make like little fasteners and hats, so I use Magna-Tack a lot.
She makes.
Yeah, which we don't
Not this one. Shall we address accessories?
Wait, I want to do a little more modification. So, as I said, thrift shop with your friends. I'm going to share another secret weapon with you. My favorite thrift store, no, it's not really a thrift store, it's a vintage thrift store, but it's cheap. It's called Reminiscence. It's between 13th and 14th on 5th. And this store is just magic. It has a lot of different things. So it has your 50s dress, and then it has a Hawaiian shirt. And
Next to the military uniform.
yeah, next to the military uniform. And
The go-go boots are on top. And that might be a stripper's thong.
And that's a mustache. You know, this store is weird, but I think it's psychic because it seems to have what I need a lot. So it's a cheap store. I've never seen anything too much over 30 or 40 bucks. And I got my...
And those are the full-scale opera costumes.
Yeah, one time the Met, and I mean it because the Metropolitan Opera had the label in it, just dropped off a shipload of Egyptian costumes. I think it was from Aida or something. That happened. I had this medieval kirtle, which you can get at Renaissance fairs for like 80 bucks. 20, because I found the Reminiscence. That being said, you know, don't count on it because you never know what's going to turn up.